Why does Imran Khan fear Dr. Subramanian Swamy? And Imran Khan is not alone. Why does the entire Pakistani establishment, because we know very well Imran Khan acts at the behest of Pakistani army and ISI. So why do they fear Dr. Subramanian Swamy so much? He recently tweeted on 3rd of April 2020 that, and you must have all seen, it's viral, there are millions of views across platforms of what he tweeted, where he said the RSS inspired BJP leadership in the 21st century openly speaking about 200 million Muslims just as the Nazis spoke about Jews. An outright lie. And you can see it here. This tweet, for those who haven't seen it, by Imran Khan. It's viral all over, with Dr. Swamy giving a speech in parliament and his interview edited, truncated, completely out of context to attack him. So why does so much fear lie in the heart of Imran Khan to attack Dr. Subramanian Swamy? Today I will tell you that. But please, before I get into that, please subscribe to this channel, all of you who are watching, so that we can spread our message out. There is an entire propaganda machine where you saw the Pakistani Prime Minister tweeting and attacking Dr. Swamy as RSS leader, RSS inspired BJP leadership. So please subscribe and share the video so we set the facts right on the Citizenship Act and also the motivation international forces which are anti this CAA law. We saw all that happened in Delhi. Now you will understand why they are trying to attack Dr. Swamy. So please do subscribe. First thing to understand, when the world is facing a war against coronavirus, epidemic is raging, Pakistan is every day coming and saying their economy cannot handle it. They want handouts from the World Bank, they want handouts from United Nations, they want handouts from US, Europe, any place they can get a handout from. They are facing a health emergency, they always face an economic emergency. Why this sudden attack on Dr. Subramanian Swamy and on Citizenship Act? Because Dr. Swamy is talking about Citizenship Act in the parliament and to vice this news channel. And I will get into the history of this news channel also. Very interesting. It is co-founded by a person of Pakistani origin. But little later, I will come about this and speak on this. But first, let us just speak for 1 minute on what is Citizenship Act. Citizenship Act is an act by which those people who are facing genocide in Pakistan, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, 3 Muslim majority countries, can get refuge and shelter in India. Who are these communities who are facing genocide? Hindus, Sikhs, Buddhists, Jains, Parsis, Christians. They are facing genocide. And Indian government is trying to protect them. And this is something which the original Congress, when Congress was the genuine Congress, founded by, controlled by freedom fighters who were great nationalists at their heart before it got taken over, they wanted this and has been a perennial demand. We have seen how the population of minorities, these 6 communities, has fallen in Pakistan, has fallen in Bangladesh after independence. So the government brought in a law to protect these people who are facing genocide. And you saw what happened recently. They are still facing genocide. The Kabul Gurdwara attack. See this, if you can read it, if you don't know about it. 25 Sikhs were killed in a Gurdwara in Kabul. Can you see? And it's all over the news. It's all over the news. Not TV news, not mainstream news, because they'd like to cover this. But if you Google it, you will find it in enough places. They are still facing genocide. And this law, Citizenship Act, has been brought to protect them. Their only fault in Gurdwara was that they were Sikhs. They were Sardars. That is the only fault. And that has been the only fault of Hindus in Bangladesh or Pakistan. That is why the numbers have dropped out. So this act is meant to save them. So why is Pakistan jumping about this act? Why is the entire establishment jumping about this act? And I have a full video on Kabul on this channel. So please subscribe and you can see the video. We are still, our brothers, sisters are still facing genocide. This law is protecting them. Dr. Swamy spoke in Parliament of how this law protects, and the attack started. But before I come to that, fully into the motivation behind the attack, this interview edited by Vice News. Let us talk about the history of Vice News. Vice News is co-owned by a person of Pakistani origin. And this is not me saying, I'll only speak from documents and nothing but from the documents. Where this person, Mr. Alvi, says in a context that they used to lie a lot for business purposes, different purposes, and he says, if you can see that New York Magazine Intelligencer, the reason those lies were so successful was because even we believed them after a while. Yeah. The lies were so successful because we believed it after a while. And there is no end to this lies. Colombian Journalism Review says this about this channel. They're editing their truncation. Dr. Swamy's speech in Parliament is available everywhere. The full transcript of this interview they are not releasing. The full transcript is not out. In fact, the video, even though the clip is viral, the Prime Minister of Pakistan has attacked, is not out. Because what would the full transcript say? That is given in the speech of Dr. Swamy in Parliament, where he says this controversial line that Muslims are not equal citizens. They do not understand Indian Constitution. And those who understand are deliberately trying to misrepresent. Article 14 talks about equality. What does Article 14 say? And that is what Dr. Swamy has said, that equality is between two people who are similarly situated. Two people who are not similarly situated cannot be treated equally, else that would be inequality. Like he said, you have reservations for SC, ST community in India. You do not have reservations for Brahmins because the law treats them as different categories. Or for example of taxation, you do not have any tax till X amount of money and you have 30% taxes if you're making more money. Nobody can come and say I should only be taxed 5% because other Indian citizens are being taxed 5% because you are in different categories and law treats each category separately. Minorities, Hindus, Sikhs, etc. in this Muslim majority countries are facing genocide. Their numbers are coming down. That is why they are a separate category. And this law has been made to save the minorities of Bangladesh, Pakistan and Afghanistan. It satisfies the law. It is very clearly as part of our Indian Constitution, and that is why Dr. Swamy has been saying that Article 14, right to equality, allows this law. But the Pakistani Prime Minister is scared. Vice News, where you have to see what the Colombian Journalism Review has said about them. Vice has altered shots during editing process in pursuit of more entertaining or impressive scenes. They have edited it to make it entertaining. And the Pakistani Prime Minister supports this. In 2011 documentary on Libya, a voiceover from reporter claims that he had gone to front lines amidst an offensive, while a source claims he did not make the trip, only the cameraman going there. They have edited, altered for TRPs. And this organization is funded by whom nowadays? Who is a big funder of this vice? George Soros. For those who do not know George Soros, and this is a Forbes article, not my words, George Soros is a guy who pledged $1 billion to fight nationalists, and specifically he singled out Prime Minister Modi. You can see this. He singled out democratically elected Narendra Modi as saying he is creating a Hindu nationalist state. What does Imran Khan say? George Soros says he is creating a Hindu nationalist state. And what does Imran Khan say when he attacks Dr. Subramanian Swamy? The same language. See the combination effect. George Soros creating a fund, and George Soros has recently invested in this company, Vice News, known for editing and altering videos for TRPs, entertainment, and very often devious purposes. And the Pakistani Prime Minister, all in this time of pandemic, attacking Dr. Subramanian Swamy, attacking the Citizenship Act, because they fear that they stand exposed in front of the world for what they have done. When those people who are suffering there get citizenship in India, they get relief that will stop their nefarious plans. And last thing I would say, this video has proved how they build a fake narrative by twisting, altering, and what their motivation is. But the last point, why do they specifically fear Dr. Subramanian Swamy? Because they cannot match his knowledge of facts, scholarship, his immense knowledge of history, and the means by which Pakistan, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, and figures like George Soros operate, with his knowledge of Indian Constitution, of how this law is valid. And he has been busting this entire myth that this law is not valid or not allowed under Indian Constitution. And that scares the Pakistani establishment, the Prime Minister, George Soros, and all those people who fear India, who hate India, who do not want Indians to be protected. Don't fall for them. Watch the full videos of Dr. Swamy. Understand why the attack is coming, and subscribe to this, spread it everywhere so India, Bharat knows the truth. Thank you.